Officials from the Hawks in Mpumalanga have launched a takedown operation to track down suspects linked to a multi-million rand fraud scheme in the Provincial Education Department. The operation began this morning at the house of a Barberton pastor. Now, for more than 40 high-profile individuals and companies are linked to allegations that they defrauded the department of 114 million rands. The case dates back to 2018 and the operation is being carried out in 4 different provinces. It is set to proceed to other locations. Here's SABC News' Nonhlanhla Jele, who's monitoring developments around the story for us this hour. So, Nonhlanhla, you just came out of that media briefing with the Hawks. There's just so much to take in. First of all, we heard that those takedown operations started in Mpumalanga and they will continue, but also the Hawks are widening these takedown operations to other provinces. Tell us more.
Indeed, good morning to you, Mxolisi, and to the viewers at home. Remember, all these other people in these other provinces are part of Mpumalanga. Most of them used to live in this province, and of course, over the years, they up and packed and moved to the different provinces. We understand in the Western Cape, one person has been arrested, and earlier on, Major General Gerber confirmed to us that he's en route to Mpumalanga, of course, to appear in court tomorrow. So far, the number of these people has been halved, with more than 20 people having been arrested. But just to speak to us more about the numbers, earlier on you mentioned the money. He's also going to give us an update as to how much money was actually wasted by these people and on what exactly. Major General, thank you so much for your time and for joining us at the SABC this morning. You spoke about the numbers, that it's more than 20 now people have been arrested. They're in different provinces and in Mpumalanga as well. And also the money. Earlier on we had heard it's 114 million. Can you please confirm how much exactly has been spent and on what?
Okay. Thank you once again for having us on your show. Yes, I can confirm that up to this stage, 23 suspects have been arrested. That number will increase as the operation continues today. The total we're looking at is 40 physical bodies that we need to arrest. Then obviously there were 17 service providers that were involved in this intricate web of money laundering. And then out of those 17 companies, there's 21 directors. And those are the people that provided the service or the alleged service to the Department of Education. Then there's 10 government officials that will also be arrested. At this stage, I can confirm that we have 4 of those in custody already. The money involved is 113 million. And that emanates from, increased tenders that were inflated prices that were given to fix schools, 21 schools in the Mpumalanga region on an emergency basis, which the emergency was never there. And obviously the prices were inflated and limited work was done and not according to the scope that was provided on which the tenders were then awarded. So that money then found its way through the government officials and their families from the service providers, and that is where the intricate web of money laundering comes in. And it's like an organized grouping working together with the government officials to then float this money around into the banking system, and then ultimately the families and the officials also benefit from these.
Indeed, and what happens to those ones who did not arrest today? What is the message to them? I mean, I'm sure some are watching, their families are also watching.
Yes, obviously, as DPCI and the Hawks, our corruption environment and even our fraud environment, we have so many cases lying on our desks that need attention and are getting attention in terms of the corruption and the fraud that is happening in government department, which is actually quite sad that we have to do these kind of investigations where services should be directed to the communities, and it's absolutely just officials which earn good salaries just doing things to benefit themselves. So yes, there will be future arrests, other cases will be coming, but for today we're on the Department of Education.
And they're appearing in court?
Yes, they will be detained, the ones that we detained today, and then tomorrow they will appear in the court in Nelspruit.
Thank you so much. Mxolisi, as you've heard Major General Nico Gerber just saying to us that it's unfortunate that these monies were inflated, of course, when they're trying to say they're fixing schools, doing this and that for this and that school. 21 schools, Mxolisi, as you can imagine, have been affected by this scandal that we are covering here this morning. We also know that earlier on, Major General said that the arrests are going to continue even during the week, and of course these people are going to be appearing in court tomorrow. We will be in court to try and bring you the latest as to what happens. We do know that they're facing charges of fraud and corruption and money laundering. Not only these individuals, but also their families involved. Please remember 17 companies came in as service providers in this scandal, trying to assist these schools, but minimal or no work was done, and a lot of money was spent. 113 million spent on these 21 schools, or allegedly was supposed to have been spent, rather, but it was not spent at all. And of course, more than 20 people so far have been arrested in different provinces, including Mpumalanga.
So, Nonhlanhla, that clearly signals that the net clearly is closing in at this stage. So the operations have stopped for the day, or you are now moving to another location?
Operations in Kolisi are continuing even tomorrow. As we mentioned earlier on in Barberton, 2 people of interest were not found at their places of residence. We only managed to arrest 1. Other people have been arrested throughout the country. In Western Cape, 1 person so far, in Gauteng, Limpopo as well. And of course, other people here in Mpumalanga in different townships. We do know that Kanyamazani, there were people that were arrested, Tegwani North, Tegwani South, and of course that 1 person, bringing the number to 23 persons of interest being arrested. We do know that the number has been 41. It was supposed to have been 42 in actual fact, but 1 person has sadly lost his or her life before they could be arrested. So operations continue. Major General did say that even tomorrow people are going to be arrested, even on Tuesday, throughout the week, advising these people to go with their lawyers to their local police stations and hand themselves over because they have not been found at their homes or places of residence. So at this point, operations are standing down for now, but we do know that Hawks and SAPS and law enforcement officials across the 4 provinces are still on the ground trying to make these arrests. I'm sure when we are in court tomorrow, we're going to hear of more arrests that happened later on today or tomorrow morning. And of course, these people are going to appear in court as and when they are supposed to.
Right. Nonhlanhla Jele is our reporter monitoring developments on that story. Thanks so much for that update.